my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I'm joined with Steven, C6, the big shot, Mr. Big Shot, the man of mystery. I always like calling you the man of mystery, especially when you when you wear black. You always look sort of witness protection program thing.
I see. Well, then I must be. I've been in it a long time, I guess.
So how are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you, sir. And you?
Okay, I'm surviving.
Good.
So we're going to be showing. I guess today's theme is books that we purchased from Stray Flexing or Yaniv. And I last week I believe I showed half of a long box, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. It was like recently. I showed half of my pickups that were a long box or short box, and now I'm going to show the other half of my pickups from him. And you're going to show a couple nice ones I heard that you
Yeah, a
might.
few, a
Yeah.
few.
So it should be an interesting show. And um, I don't know. It should be fun.
Okay.
We'll have fun with it. Okay.
Rock on.
Okay. And let's quickly say hi to the chat.
Hi to the
Hi to the
chat.
chat. And we got K Munin. Hi, K Munin. Robbie Josephs.
Kay Munin, Robbie,
Yeah. And we got Louis J.
Louis,
Mark Mueller.
Mr. Mueller.
And we got John Harrison.
Hello, John.
Rob Saint.
Rob Saint.
And oops. Oh, we just got a super chat from somebody, but I'm not there yet. Give me a sec. I'll ban you in a minute. Don't worry. No, I was joking. Oh, where are we? Oh, we got Carrie,
Hi, Carrie.
and we got Matt Likes Comics. Hi, Matt. And archivist. Wait, can I click him? No, it's not gonna make. I have to scroll up. So, why so formal? Am I really formal? I don't know. I don't think I'm super formal, but okay, we'll go with that. Um, What's next? And we got Patel Philip.
Patel, I almost always want to say Patek.
Patel. Yeah.
I know that. Patel, but Patek Philippe is a very, very jazzy watch.
Oh, really?
Arguably, all things equal, Patek is probably the very
Oh,
number
Patek. I've
one
heard of Patek.
watchmaker in the world.
And
Patek
it's Patek
Philippe.
Philip. Yeah, that's cool. I don't think he was named after a watch, though.
I do not have a Patel or a Patek. I don't have a Patel either, but I don't have a Patek. But I do have a Breguet, which I think and it's like this. The three Swiss ones, which are Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, and what's the third? Vacheron Constantine are considered the big three.
Oh, really?
Rolex is a half step to the side, but Rolex is just Rolex. But they're all Swiss. But
Okay.
Breguet is French, and the Swiss never give the French any
Any credit?
even though Louis Breguet was the father of modern horology by far for all of the innovations he did. And Breguet watches are absolutely phenomenal. And that is where I had my choice of all of those. Actually, I have a Vacheron Constantine that was my grandfather's. I have a wristwatch that was my grandpa's. But but I decided to go for the Breguet because Breguets are just unbelievably phenomenal timepieces.
Okay. Well, that was interesting.
Watches are cool, man. I
I know.
love
I just
mechanisms. No, mechanisms and
I
things
like
like that.
I like watches, but I don't know anything about watches. I'm not a watch expert or anything. Hi, Fiddle Chips,
Hi,
uh,
Fiddle.
and hi,
Big Lyle.
and thank you for the super chat. I was like, normally, on my when I was doing this on my phone, normally I'd ban the people that super chat me because I accidentally did that once. So um, now that I'm on my laptop, it's not as easy to ban people. So that's a good thing. So thank you for the super chat. Alan, do you think the person who cut out your AF15 coupon made like $100 or $200 as predicted in their spare time? Would you consider going to uni on it?
Uni.
Yeah, uni is university. You've never heard the term uni?
No.
Oh, really? I thought that was a common
Is it
sense.
like going to war over it? I mean, I don't understand. Well, you go to
No, no, no,
university.
no. So
Why are
the
you
idea,
going to university?
so the idea is that you know, do you think the person who cut out the AF15 made $100 as predicted in their spare time? I'm not sure about that part, but you could go to university on the cost of the slab.
Oh, I dig.
Yeah, I mean it's like still like a $20,000 book. I mean in Canada versus US. US maybe you can get like one class or something. I don't know,
No,
but
uni is Universal Blue Label, is what he meant.
oh, okay. Well, I've heard the term uni as being university.
So even you didn't know what he meant.
I didn't know what he meant.
Thank God, because I really thought you'd got me on one, but fortunately, the red tape saved me.
Okay, so we don't understand your question. So yeah,
What you mean, we, paleface?
I didn't know. Okay, okay. Well then, okay. So you can't get a universal blue label with the unless you go a half step down. So had I gotten a 2.5, it would be a universal blue label. You can get like a 2.5 and something being cut out, right? But once it's above a 3, it's a green label. It's a silly thing, but this way it works. One sec here. We got Red Matos.
Hi, Red.
Big Nasty. Okay.
Rich?
And I was thinking he was just being cool by saying uni. Okay.
He's cool anyway. He's still cool. Hi, Christina.
And one sec here. Where did he actually explain it in the chat?
Well, you'll have to read further down.
I have to get there. So one sec here. We got Haystack.
Hello, Haystack, with your, I'm assuming that is a San Francisco coin. I can't tell which one it is.
Oh, yes, that's he's the coin guy. Yeah, I remember that one. This is a new one. Archive Luxury.
Archie.
Oh, Archie Luxury live stream. Oh, that's a cool.
Well, it's a fact. The Breguet that I bought was from 1971, and it was from a friend of mine who was friends with the head man of the Breguet outlet in Los Angeles, who got it in. And when it came in, I bought it, and it's the classic moon phase complication. That is.
Oh, I think I've seen you show that one.
The engine turned dial, which of course you'd understand that with the Rose machine. Mm-hmm. And when they sent it back to Breguet, of course it was gone for a long time. They said that we would like to, if the owner would like, we will uprate your escapement mechanism to the modern silicone version, because it's stronger and lasts longer and it vibrates more rapidly and gives better time. Do you want us to upgrade? And I said, of course, it's what they do. And so Breguet basically went through the entire watch, absolutely from stem to stern. And it's got the moon phase and all that other really good stuff. And it was in January of 71. It was produced and it was sold in January of 1971. A friend of mine who runs the Breguet site actually contacted Breguet, and they have all the books, as you know, for all of the names and what have you, and they confirm when it was made and when it was sold. And so it's my absolute number one
how
watch.
do people feel about that in terms of watch collectors, that it's not the original mechanism? Or
Well, understand this, that if the original company wants to basically do something that they do on all of their new watches to improve them, then I would take the improvement. And since it was a Patek approved upgrade using Breguet parts at the Breguet factory in Switzerland, the answer is, to me, is yes. And all of this stuff, it must have cost them it must have cost well over, they absorbed probably a couple of grand to basically do this. And when it came back, oh my goodness. And I got a brand new strap. And of course, it has the gold buckles and all that other stuff. It's an 18 yellow with a display back, and it has the far more engraved movement in the back before they sort of streamlined it down a little bit later on. But it really is absolute ray gun of a Breguet.
Cool.
And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And the one other thing, just a touch. Rolex, as you know, is so big, maybe a half step down from the tops, but all by itself because it's the best and most popular existing watch company there is. They're the most profitable everywhere else. But here in Portland, Oregon, where I am, the very first Rolex watch that they sold in the United States, because they had an agreement with the company that manufactured the movements, that the Gruen brothers and Rolex were both members of the board of directors. So the Gruen brothers and Gruen watches got the United States, and Rolex got everything else. The company is Aegler, Aegler, was the manufacturing company of all of these movements, and they were the ones that made the self-winding, the perpetuals, and all that other great stuff. But the very first watch, they couldn't do that, so they had a different movement that they put into it, which was what they used in Canada, which is sort of like one of it still has the Rolex crown, and it's the round case with the screw down crown.
Sure.
And it's just a wind up like the Eaton that they had up in Canada, but it's called Zell Brothers Jewelers. Saw them up in Canada and then brought it down. And the Pacific Northwest for Zell Brothers was a very wonderful jewelry shop. Had them and sold them at their store as what they called the Turtle. And and I've lived in Portland my entire life, and I finally found a turtle. Okay. So if you go on I'm sorry, Alan, and if you go on my Instagram, if you scroll down, you'll see all my watches, and I have a big story on that turtle, the Rolex Turtle, and some very interesting stuff in there. But yes, I'm a watch guy.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And comics I do like comics too.
Really? Okay. So this is a comic show, just in case anyone was curious. Okay. Matt was the one that gave another super chat. Don't ban me. You need me.
Oh, ban him.
Okay, he's banned. Sorry, you're banned.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
No. Yes, we do need Matt. He's useful. So yes, uni is a Canadian term. I thought it was a.
Look what you did. Look what you took everybody. You took everybody off their stream there.
Yeah. So we got uni equals universal blue label. See, you're talking about watches. I hear uni, and I just my brain is not there. I'm
man, I understand.
I should have been thinking comics. So yeah, sorry about that, Patel. And then we got interesting topic today. I just received my first from you.
Oh, good for you, Greg.
Congrats.
I remember they had to track you down.
Yeah, we had to track you down. And actually, I was like, no offense to you, Greg. I really do appreciate the sale, but I was kind of hoping that it was going to fall through because you bought the book.
You got what Alan wanted.
I was like, I tried to find the guy. I couldn't find the guy.
Sorry, I guess he's not around. No, I'm right here. No, I guess he's not around yet.
He's not around. I don't see him. So yeah, but yeah, book that I really wanted. He got it for such a great price, actually. I don't think you need to realize how big of a book those Cerebuses are. They're really hard to get, and usually people want crazy money for them. Oh well, it's a little bit sad. And we got Who Dat. Hi, Who Dat.
Hi, Russell.
Yeah, and then we got who else we got here? I think we got everybody so far.
Nope. You got a ways to go.
I got a ways to go. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just gonna click. If you randomly come up in my click, you will randomly come up.
Well, Mark from Suddenly Comics is here.
I'm getting there. Yeah, I see him. Hi, Mark. And we got Diabetic here as well.
Hi, Soups.
And we got Lord of Brooklyn.
Lord of Brooklyn.
And this is funny. Okay, don't talk more about watches though. I'm just showing you the comment. You don't have to comment on the comment. It's just there.
I have
No, no,
seen your,
no,
I have
no,
seen it,
no,
and I
no.
have enjoyed it.
Okay.
And I love watches, and I've tried to post them, and I don't really get much action here. But the fact is, if you were a car guy or a firearm guy, almost without exception, you are a watch guy. That just goes without saying. If you went to a show with firearms, I'm here to you. Yeah. Fiddle,
That was a cute
screw down
comment.
crown, rapid vibration. Okay, well, that's as far as I'm taking you on that,
Yeah,
Fiddle.
that was interesting. Okay.
Actually, it was oscillations. I'm sorry.
Oscillations. I'm not even
Yeah,
sure if
thank
that's
you.
any better. Um, yeah, he got the Cerebus 3. Yes. So that one, you'll notice it's a bit damp. That's just my tears. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Adrift. So wonderful, Greg. Just hold it close to your face and feel good with all the Allen's tears. It's good for
Yeah.
the complexion.
Yeah. Hi, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan.
Uh, have you ever looked up watches on YouTube in the past? Uh, oh, so he's like I guess he's like
No,
a big watch guy.
he is a big dog on there.
Oh, I
Absolutely.
didn't know. Sorry.
Watches, you'd be surprised how many watch people there are. There are a lot of them.
I,
Um,
I like watches. I like but I don't know anything about them. Like I would collect like when I was a kid, I would have like Snoopy watches. I know it's
oh,
like a
that's
super fun.
wonderful. I
It's
mean,
like
they're great. They're wonderful.
yeah, I had the one that like it was really cool. It was a yellow strap, and it was like Snoopy playing tennis, and the little ball would go around, and he would like swing with this little. I like that.
That's fun.
Yeah. Okay, we got and then we got Lau. Hi Lau.
Hi, Lau.
And we got Stevie D. Hi Stevie D.
Hi, Steve.
And what else we got here? And I think that's it. Oh yeah, I got it.
JX, we got?
Yeah, I already said hi to JX.
Okay.
Okay. Casio forever. Yes.
No, no, no,
Yes.
no, no, no. That's
That's
just Louis.
that's a name brand. Okay, Casio.
That's no, no, no.
That's a big brand.
Battery watches are toys.
Okay,
Spring wound levers and gears is a real watch.
and we
If
got
you have toy watches are fine.
hi Chris. So yeah, so no, yeah. If you know anything about watches, Stephen, Casio is one of the big brands,
Oh, really?
and then underneath it is like, you know, when my father visited not England, New York, he got a real Rolex watch from some guy. No,
Rotex?
no, not a, there's Rolex, but he got a Rolex, which is the higher quality one that you get off the guy with the watches. Like he opens up his trench coat and has the watches. He got that when he was like visiting New York way back when. So we always joke about Rolex and my family.
Heresy. Heresy. Oh, I see Chonko has arrived, and so has Rad.
Okay, we got Rad. Hi, Rad. And we got Chonko. Hi, Chonko.
Wait till you see the Supergirl he just finished for me. It is absolutely spectacular.
Nice. I mean, I see one of his art things behind.
Well, you see 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them right behind me.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So it's a very rad day. Yeah, we're trying to brand. We're expanding the brand beyond comics.
Boy, it won't take long with your watch collection, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, because you heard the Snoopy, so yeah. I actually had the calculator watch, and I had the Pac-Man watch with the little joystick. That was pretty awesome. I actually really love that watch. I actually found it, but I'm not sure if it's functional. But yeah, let's get started with actually comics now. Okay?
You bet.
That was 20 minutes of us babbling about, well, not us, somebody babbling about watches.
I never babble.
Okay, well, let's get into comics. I'm going to go
sir.
first because you've lemon treed enough for one day.
All right, at least for that.
Okay. So basically, I'm going to show books from the spot that I left off last time. So the next book is actually, a series that I'm really enjoying in terms of collecting. I just really think they have cool covers. It's Menace. I just think it's cool. Like this guy, it looks like he's dissolving or something. I'm not sure if you can see that. And these are done by Carl Borges, and just a really cool Atlas comic. This Menace is the one where they introduced the character called Zombie, and that is sort of the grail of the run. But these other books I actually think are pretty cool too. I like the girl in the red dress and this guy kind of like melting in front of her. I just think it's a cool book. And a lot of these Atlas horror titles are actually very affordable compared to like pretty much every other like Harvey like Precode or some of the other Precode companies. You know, very affordable. And I think they have pretty cool covers. I think the problem that has sort of detracted from their value is the fact that they have this stuff down the side and kind of cuts into the central image. But I still like them. I think they're really cool. Like,
Do you know that they have that with new books now? Marvel has a lot of that. I hate that. I don't like what they're the modern version. In the old days when they did that, I go with it because it was of the time. But Marvel has a choice now, and they don't give you full covers of art anymore at all. I don't care for it.
okay, yeah, I agree with that. So this next one is an interesting one. This is this was me like not wanting to buy this book. Like I'm not selling it very well, but Yaniv basically had this book, and it's cool in its own way, but it wasn't something that I was like actively thinking about. And he just sort of showed it to me. Like I passed on it the first time, and then he kept on showing it to me until I liked it. So this is Super Spy #1. It's got actually a really low census count. I think like 2 or 3. Like it's really low. It's a low grade actually. So, well, 3. But it's the first appearance of Super Spy, and it's the first appearance of the Sparkler as well. So kind of a cool first appearance book. But I don't know. it was one that this is one trick with Yaniv, and you do this a lot. I notice when we do the live streams, is you gotta be interested but not too interested. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I just basically keep lowering the price until he starts yelling at me, and then I know I've reached the point.
Yes, that's what I do. So that's what happened with this one. So this was me being, it was somewhat interesting. I just wasn't like, it's not the typical fare that I go after. I do like my first appearances, right? But I normally go after some sexy girl on the cover.
What company is that?
It is, good question. It's a Centaur. Oh, I didn't.
Oh,
Wow, it's probably that's why it's such got a low census count, because it is a Centaur. I
I'm
didn't
sorry.
realize
Did you say the year? I didn't hear it.
No, it's 1940. I didn't even realize it was a Centaur. Oh my goodness, that actually adds more cool. He should have went with that. Good question. If I actually I didn't even know that this was a Centaur. This is much cooler than I thought it was. Wow, you've added a whole layer of coolness. So just for people that don't know, Centaurs are generally fairly rare, and they're very desirable by a certain certain echelon of collectors. I didn't realize this was a Centaur. That's extra cool. Thanks for noticing that, Stephen. Wow, that's so funny. He should have went with that. I would have totally bought it. But now it's extra cool. Thank you.
Mark says that is an awful cover. Well, it's always
That's
nice.
what I'm saying. It wasn't
It's
one that
always nice that Mark brings us down to the level.
Yeah.
Thank you for keeping us honest, Mark. That was very decent of you.
Well, that's why as I said, it wasn't one that I was super interested in because it's not a great cover. I'm honest about it. But the Centaurs are incredibly rare, and they're very desired. And even ones that don't necessarily have the best cover can go for big money. And I got that for a reasonable price because I kind of, talked him down on it. So yeah, this next one, this was a cheap book. but I think it's actually, see, I like this cover more. I think it's kind of cute.
That's Chief Wahoo.
Chief Wahoo. There's a couple like in this title, like, and I have them in other boxes. There's some cute good girl covers. I like the one there's like this girl and she's like reading a book while the guy is like paddling. And he's like, and she's, it's a cute cover. But this is Bill Woogan or Woogan.
Spell the name. Spell it.
I think it's, one sec. Yeah, it is Woogan. Okay. Woggen or On. Woogan or Wogan.
Wogan is the way I heard it.
Okay, Wogan. Okay.
And he did Archie too. He did covers for Archie.
Yeah, yes, he did. He was early on, like with Bob Montana and all those guys, right?
Yeah, and Fahey.
Yeah.
And Vigoda.
Yeah, and Vigoda.
And what company produced that?
This is Eastern Color. So Eastern Color was like Famous Funnies too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm not sure. This is a question I'm not sure about the answer. Were centaurs only sold in a certain region? I'd never heard that part, but do you know?
I have no idea, but I know that if they were,
You're right.
if they were, then the survival rate is such that I don't think that they had high production. That is to say, production output. And my guess would be it would be more East Coasty than West Coasty, because the lesser produced books went to the population centers, maybe some in San Francisco or in Los Angeles and outside chance of Seattle. But if there was any of them, they would have been down in LA and San Francisco area, but certainly not in Oregon. I can tell you that.
Okay, so I have 3 more books that I'm going to show this round. This first one is super low grade, but it actually has a cool cover. I just wish that it was full. It's like it's one of these remainder copies. But it's actually a pretty cool comic. This is Blue Ribbon number 14 from MLJ 1941. It's got this weird devilly guy over here. Like he's like a idol, and then he's like attacking the girl in the red dress. But it's actually a pretty cool cover. I just wish it wasn't missing the top half.
Looks like a really nice splash page too.
Yeah, actually, you can see like this crazy devil guy.
That's a gorgeous splash.
Yeah, it's a shame that it's like what I actually wanted Yaniv to do with this book was sometimes they'll allow you to do this where you can crack it out and then you get like a photocopy of the cover. You know I'm talking about, and then you slide
like you did with like was done to your that book with Robin on the flagpole.
Yeah. I that would be nice, and then it would be the complete cover. I just think it would look a lot better because actually I've seen it where it's the full thing, and it really does pop. It's actually a pretty cool cover. I kind of wanted to do that with this book.
What year is it?
It's from 1941, and it's a Sam Cooper cover. I'm not sure who Sam Cooper is, but
Archivist says that I think a lot of those comics were regional. You'll see DC and Fawcett's in photos everywhere, but Nidor, Centaur, Fox Features, etc., seem rarer in those photos. And you're absolutely right. I've seen pictures of kids at newsstands, and you don't see them. You just don't see them.
Mentioned. You always see usually it's like Fawcett or DC or something like that.
Give Fawcett their due. They had market penetration, they merchandised, they had extra products, and they also gave the rights to their books to foreign countries who used it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Canada in particular, and Brazil.
Mm-hmm. So this next book is a high grade book that's not expensive. So this was like, it's a series that I actually collect, but I feigned disinterest in it. So this is Cookie number 4. And it's like a fairly high grade actually for for the era.
Incredibly high grade for that.
And it's a black, it's got black, so usually that kind of kills the grade. This is from 1946, and it's ACG obviously, but it's a cute one. He climbs the pole to see what the sign says, and it says wet paint. Yeah.
Why would they put the sign that says it was just painted at the top of the pole?
Well, that is the joke of it. They wouldn't have that joke if they didn't do that, right?
Wow.
I know it's a bit of a reach, but that was pun too, by the way. So Cookie is actually a pretty cool title. I've shown you my True Vision comics before.
Do you yes, of course, about? Of course.
The True Vision ones they're all black, and then they would have like sort of like muted colors, and then the main central figures would all be done in vibrant colors. So what we would have is almost like a 3D effect. Well, Cookie was one of the comics at ACG that used that technique. And it's but this is not one of those, but it is one of those things where it makes it an extra cool title. Also, I think Moronica made her first appearance in Cookie. I think Cookie number 8, if I remember correctly. So another character I like. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Moronica. She's from Dizzy Dames. So, okay. And last, okay, is Mr. Universe number 1. And another one that was sort of a weird one that I picked up from Univ, just sort of random. It's origin and first appearance of Mr. Universe too, by the way. And it's Ross Andru cover. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
I mean, I do like my first appearances. I wasn't super keen on this one because it's not, Miss Universe. If it was Miss Universe, I'd be way more keen on it. But it's still a cute cover. And yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. So that's my first group of books. When you picked it last time, remember how I said, "Oh, do you want the front of the box or the back of the box?" And then you picked the front of the box.
Yes. Time? Yes.
Well, you actually picked the better half of the box. So
this we're getting the front half here.
No, we're getting the not so the great part. This is the back of the box, which is it's not the bigger books.
Like, fair enough.
Like the bigger books was like the Air Ace number 2, that kind of those bigger books.
Believe me, I do.
Yeah, so there are a couple cool ones in here, but it's not. Sorry, and then you're gonna show a big book at the end, and it's like, okay, Steven's gonna be cooler than I am. Okay, so yeah, I'll be sad. Okay, so we got High Great Legends.
I'll just jump on the bed.
Yes.
So, I'll just jump on the bed. I will. No. I prefaced it that it was a toy. I said it was a toy. Here is a toy. We're talking toys. Zot. I'm sick about it. I really am. I once a regular person. Rad says he thought those were cool books, so don't feel bad. And Rad knows what he's talking about.
Thank you, Rad. They are cool, but they're not big cool. They're not like big books. They're reasonable books though. Okay, Stephen.
Big Lyle said that you could get Fawcett books at his hardware store. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Their market penetration
was everywhere.
They left no stone unturned to spread the gospel according to Fawcett. They really did. And all the toys and merchandising, I showed all those gliders and all that other fun stuff that they had. So Mark says, we haven't seen Stephen's books yet, but he wins already. Oh, this is your friend, Mark.
Mark, are you my friend or what?
He must be.
I thought, okay, so this is how he treats his favorite Canadian. How would he treat the other Canadians? I don't know. It's like so sad. Okay.
I wouldn't want to know how he treats his unfavorite Canadians. That would be sad.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm going to use theme as well as Yaniv for what I'm showing today. Two of the books that I bought from Yaniv are Brazilian, and if you're familiar with Brazilian books, there are damn few of them, and and especially books from the World War II era. And the reason why is because the climate in Brazil is absolutely death to comic books. The staples rusted instantly. It ruined the paper. I mean, it's just the absolute worst climate there is for comic books. So the survival rate of these books is quite low. On top of which, the books that they had that did survive, in order so that they don't fall apart, many of them have had restoration, and some of the bad parts have been trimmed off where the rot had set in, like mold and things like that.
Mhm.
So you will find them in various states of restoration for that very reason. So if you're looking for pristine copies of Brazilian books, you might as well hang it up because you'll never get any. So the very first one I got, this is not Yaniv, but this is the first one that I bought, and it is Oguri
Oh, wow.
number 111, and this book came out in 1945, and this book features a cover by R.J. Leyendecker. R.J. Leyendecker is very much like the guy that did the Saturday Evening Post artist. Who was it, Alan?
What's his name? Saunders. No,
Norman Rockwell.
Rockwell. I was going through. Norman Saunders is somebody else.
Roman Fargo. Anyway,
I was getting
so
that right.
Leyendecker's this cover was from early 1944. That they then, maybe it was in 44 this came out. And what it was at the first of the year, what they do is they would always have the baby being the image of the new year. And so when you look at this book, this is from the new year of Saturday Evening Post, that the war with the helmet that has been well used, and this baby picking up against Germany, Italy. Oh my! There it is. What's the date on it? January 2nd, 45.
January 2nd, 1943.
43. Okay, so this book came out very good, fantastic, well
I
done.
figured I had to grab it. So yeah.
Wow, on hand too. God, that's great. So he was very, very famous, and this company basically paid the rights to use this cover for a comic book. I think it's very innovative and amazing. There's only,
I don't
I
like
think,
these comments that somebody's doing. He says this is a stunner, but my beautiful books that I was pitching and putting out there, I get no love.
your pitches were a little outside. You walked four players to score a run for the opposing team.
Oh, we got Matt Likes Comics member for 9 months. Wow.
Matt, really? Come on. But he's got all the baby fat on him, and he has the kind of a droopy eye. Now, I am going to make a tiny lemon tree here.
Okay.
This book on the inside has Batman number 14, and it also has All Winners number 12. So you have DC and Timely both
in the same book
inside, plus they have Brazilian comics and Brazilian advertisements, one of which is for champagne. So it's an entirely different thing. It's black and white on the inside, but this cover is stunning. Now, if you will look at his helmet, haha, he did. If you look at his helmet, you will notice that the steel part of the helmet is sitting on what looks like a light brown liner. Now, this is an accurate picture for early in the war for helmets. And the reason why is this. There was a company named Hawley, Hawley, that produced the inner lining for the helmets, because the helmets are heavy. And so they had the liner that would support the helmet on the head of the soldier. And so the inner shell. They went to fiberglass very shortly after because this was made out of pressed paper. So in any kind of weather, the thing would start to rot and go away. So finding helmets that have a Holly liner
Oh,
is
thank you, Archivist, by the way. He just became a new member. That's
wonderful.
very nice of you, Archivist.
This is a World War II early fixed bale, which means that the bales that hold the straps don't move. They don't
Awesome.
rotate. They're not on a rotating center.
Is that the one that Warmonger wore?
This is the one that the Warmonger wore. But this is, you see, has a Holly liner. It's an
Okay.
incredibly rare thing to find these. And this is the actual camo parachute. They would cut these things up, or camo cloth. They would cut these up to wrap on the steel pot so that when they were in the jungle, they would disappear with the camouflage. And this is an original from the war with the Holly liner. Just so anyway, but it's the fact that his picture shows that.
It just shows the quality of the art that they really were trying to be accurate.
The guy really
other,
did a.
Other thing that I noticed about the picture is his strap is not on.
No, and the reason why, no, and you know the reason why.
Yes, you'll lose your head if you
lose your head. You have to leave it unstrapped because the concussion of a blast the strap will just basically take your head off.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's number one. Just a great, amazing. It's an amazing it's an amazing book and cover, and it's a big one too. It's 100 and whatever it is.
Do we have to like have some like parental like sort of like label or something where we say this is not recommended for babies to use guns or something?
Well, but 100 pages, 100-page copy. Now, this is my first Yaniv book, and it is Gibi Menzel from Brazil. This is number 51. It is from 1945, March of 1945. And it is amazing.
Oh, wow. That's the one that was really cool. Yeah, I really like that. I like when there's like kind of those like gnarly hands where they kind of, I like the fact that he has like things coming out of his hands, and I just think it's really cool. And the Human Torch and Toro really are interesting on the way that they're put in there.
Torch and Toro going at it. And here she is, what they're destroying United States aircraft, which is sort of, it's sort of a cross. I think they're trying to show their B-29s with because this is 1945. But you see the swastika necklace on Evil Woman, and she's crushing them as well.
It's in the full post. He said, Archivist said they joined my my thing to get the full poster of me, which there is no full poster of me, by the way.
And then on the back cover, he did not show this book on the back cover of it, and we went by it, and then I said, I'll never see another one of those. There are two of these. One is restored, and there's one blue label, and this is the blue label, which is amazing that it's not restored, because virtually all of them are. It is not a knock to have a restored Brazilian book, because if it hadn't been restored, there wouldn't be no book, right?
Yeah.
Now, and so Alex the Comic Hoarder, one of our guys, said, did you see the back cover? It says, look at the back cover. And the back cover is Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it amazing cover?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's like really cool. Like actually a great splash page, or not splash page, a pinup on the back, I should say. Just really, really cool. I wonder who did that Superman.
I don't know, but let me tell you, this is also a pretty big book. Is this 100 pages?
Yeah,
I think this
Super Hombre.
Super Haman.
Haman. Oh yes, Super Haman, because it's Brazilian, not
Hamem.
Haman.
Okay, inside this book is Marvel Mystery Comics number 44, Wiz Comics 51, Smash Comics 55 and 56, Captain Marvel Jr. 75, Top
So,
Notch Laugh Comics number 38, Human Torch number 16, and some stories in Portuguese.
wow. I mean, the Smash could be Lady Luck, you know.
I know.
That'd be really
It
cool.
would be in that vintage. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but you look at this, and I had to do it, and then right after I got it,
Hi, Graphic
my
Man.
hi
Yeah.
graphic man, um, Chonko was sort of lamenting.
Yeah, not
And
getting
and Yenny says, "What else do you want?" He says, "Well, I want I want the book that Steve bought."
it. So these are like a lot of these were books that I would have gotten if nobody gotten like nobody like if everyone had sort of passed on them. So I was trying to let you guys get first dibs, basically.
Yeah, it was very nice of you, Ellen. Thank you. And so
Yeah.
now here is Ciclone El Super Hombre #1, which is Superman #1. This is Hispano Americana edition. There is no date, but it's 1940 or 1941. I'm not sure. They printed it in both years. But here it is. It
This
is
one's super cool.
Superman.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool book.
And there is only one of these, and this is it. Like I said, if you see them, you have to decide, and it's in landscape, you see?
Yeah. I mean
And it's Captain Marvel, Tarzan.
yeah. I mean that's technically the first appearance of Super Hombre.
Isn't that a fun book?
That is super cool. I think it's interesting that he has like a yellow costume though.
Mm-hmm. But you can see the imagery is very definitely Superman. He is El Super Hombre.
Hmm.
And the last the my finale on this set
Hmm.
is a lot of people collect Dave Stevens artwork and are Dave Stevens comic books.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's stapled on the small side.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't open it like this. You open it like this.
Yeah. It is a landscape book instead of.
It's just a killer. There are so few of them. When you get a chance to buy a Brazilian book, understand that the chances of you seeing another one are between slim and none. And Slim left town.
Yeah, exactly.
So just look like it's going to be and so anyway, people always were talking about, well, I have this rarity of Dave Stevens, I have this rarity of Dave Stevens this, Dave Stevens that. And there's a magazine that has a gal that's partially naked that he drew from some European magazine, which Alan told me about, and then I of course went out and bought it because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't. So I have that, but that's not. But as far as for comic book art, um, he pretty much he came to fame with the Rocketeer, and the Rocketeer was his, Pacific Comics presents, and up he went, and then the whole thing blossomed out of that. Before the Rocketeer came out, Dave was contracted by a husband and wife that had a catalog to sell overstock and stuff from um, the Playboy Club. And they came up with an idea for a
Okay.
catalog to sell this, like puzzles and, Playboy bunnies in a can, glassware, blah,
I have.
all that other kind of stuff that they had. And they came up with an idea for the name of this catalog that they send out, and it was called Back Issues. And
Hmm.
so they wanted to have something good girl on the cover because, of course, they're selling Playboy stuff. And they contacted, for some reason, Dave Stevens.
Hmm.
And Dave produced this image for the catalog
So this is a
of
catalog of Playboy back issues.
Playboy memorabilia, collectibilia, etc. The back cover looks like
And was this
this.
actually from the Playboy
A,
company?
a
Or?
price list of Playboy items in
Wow.
Temple City, California, John and Kathy Cairns. And this is copyright 1983. And Dave Signed it 1983, Dave Stevens. But this is Dave Stevens before Rocketeer and a beautiful Dave Stevens Good Girl image. There are a grand total of 8 copies of this that live. And there are only 2 that have a signature by Dave on them. One is a 9/8 that no one's ever seen. But this is the only other signed copy. It's a 9/2 with white pages, and Dave signed it bottoms up, Ray. Ray was the fellow who got it.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Stevens signed in red ink.
Wow. And is this like, it's not a pedigree, is it?
There's no pedigree to it. It was just a catalog. But Dave did this, and I saw this one come up, and it was the Earth, Moon, and the Stars he wanted, and for many, many months. And the guy I bought it from was Ray. So I found.
One sec here. One sec. Just before I'll let you finish. Just
can you hold on that? Let me just finish my thought, please.
Sure.
Let me just finish my thought. Then you can go on that. But the bottom line on this was, Ray had this for all that time, and then finally I hammered away at him, and he finally came down to where it was painful but not impossible. And so there are so few of these, and it is such a wonderful image, Dave Stevens image, and early Dave Stevens. And I bought the poster. There was a poster of this. I don't know when the poster was produced. That's bigger, that I have had portrayed. I've had on display behind me for quite a few weeks. But I finally managed to get this. I had to step up to get it, but it was the only way I was going to get it. So anyway, this is it is a rarity, a super Dave Stevens rarity. If you see it out in the wild, buy it instantly because it's amazing. It says back issues, the kind men like.
That's cool. I mean, it is very nice. Okay, so a couple things before. Okay, so quickly, I'm going to answer this question. The best place to buy gold and silver age slabs in Canada is Cap-Can Comics, probably, is the best for that. They have a website, and they also have an eBay store. So Cap-Can, they're pretty good. And that was originally listed on eBay for $6,000, wasn't it?
Yes, it was No, I didn't pay $6,000.
Okay, so yeah, so I guess
I
had seen it as well.
But this was like 3 or 4 months where I would come at him. I even offered at 1.5, and he turned me down. Oh. And then I said, well, it's not going to happen. Well, then it just stayed and stayed. I offered him 4. And he went to 46, and I knew I wasn't going to get, or what he would do. And I've had this happen. I don't know if Ray would have done this, but I've had it where if you are making an honest offer and the guy thinks that decides he didn't want you to have it, then he could come back and say the price just went to 10,000 and I'm not coming down.
Yeah.
And I've had that kind of thing happen where they have an or best offer, and I would give them an offer close. And then the next thing they would say, I reject your offer. And now my or best offer just went up $5,000 to start with. And so I said, well, obviously he doesn't want to sell it to me. And all I did was make a fair offer. And that was the response. It's very strange. I don't understand what the problem was on that, because I was being a fair offer, an honest offer. So,
yeah, I mean, that kind of book, it's one of those ones where it's really a seller's market on that one, where they can decide whatever value they want for that book, because
you're not going to. It's the chances of seeing this again is very, very little, very, very low.
Yes, Greg, you're right. He did do the storyboards for Raiders of the Lost Ark, Dave Stevens. Actually, a lot of movie producers really liked Dave Stevens' storyboards because he would do them in full detail so they could really understand what the scene would look like.
Well, I wouldn't buy from that guy. In answer to Archivist said, on principle, I wouldn't deal with someone There you go. Something like that. There's plenty of books for me to want to buy that I wouldn't have to put up with that kind of nonsense, which I did. I said, obviously he doesn't want to sell. I said, that's really a sort of an FU. And I just said, well, nuts to that.
Yeah.
And Axel, hello, Axel. That kind of seller behavior is bad. You quickly get a very bad rep.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand like some sellers being annoyed by lowball bidders and like lowball offers and stuff like that. But I think,
That's part of selling. You see,
yeah,
if somebody comes in and makes an offer, you say, no, I won't sell it to you at that price. Then they'll come
yeah.
back or they won't.
I wish in a way there was that, and I've seen this with a few sellers, and this is like to me, this is the best practice. They come back with a counter offer, maybe $100 off if it's like a really expensive book, let's say, and they say in when you do the counter back, you can give a little message, and you say, "This is the lowest I can go. Take it or leave it. I appreciate your offer." Something where you're
What
actually acknowledging them, right?
Well, I said, I'm not trying to insult you. I always put a
Mhm.
message. I'm not trying to insult you. Where is the price on this book? Where's the floor? And I'd
Mhm.
like to buy it from you if I can. And that's the way I always approach it. I said, thank you very much for your consideration, Stephen. That's what I say every time. I can't remember who the guy was. As a matter of fact, after he did that to me, he was dead to me, and the whole thing just drained out of my ear, and I haven't, I just it just you but you'll run up against people like that.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Chunko, who sells books on eBay as well. Yeah. If somebody wants half price, I generally block them. See, I wouldn't go that far because, like, I've seen books where literally they're at 2 or 3 times what the FMV is. Like, especially during COVID, this was so true during COVID that people would buy a book one week, and then the next week they would double the price. And
yeah,
it's not realistic that you can, whatever you paid for it, that is the FMV. Whatever that last sale is, that's the FMV. If if you're trying to double your price or triple your price or
well,
whatever,
that's it. I said, I would offer FMV. I said, well, I'm at FMV. Where do you want to be? And
exactly.
then they get 4 times FMV. I said, thank you very much, but
Well, see,
and that's it.
a lot of these people that are like selling on eBay, this is one of my pet peeves, is they bought the book at FMV and they're expecting to flip it for double FMV
Or triple.
or triple. And it's not realistic. It's like nobody wants to overpay for a book.
Well, you'd never be happy looking at it again if you spent too much. But
Mhm.
the caveat to that is if it is a very very rare thing, then you have to make up your
Yeah.
mind.
Well, that's why
How
I
much
said
is
that
it
book.
worth it? Is it worth it to you? And in some instances, I go, I really would love to have that in my collection. That Oguri, the first one I showed you, was not particularly cheap, but it wasn't back issues expensive, but it's just one of
Yeah,
those things.
I think. See, I mean, even if it's slightly below FMV,
Well, I would generally start right around FMV, and
yeah,
then if the guy comes back a little above FMV and it's been a year or something like that, generally speaking, if I'm after it, I'll buy it. I mean,
yeah.
profit is not a dirty word, but usurious pretension is I won't play.
Oh, what's Lau saying here? Do you think it's better to negotiate on a price or snipe it on eBay auctions at the last second?
Both.
Last second. it's, I do both. Yeah, I actually do both. So what I'll
It's
generally
both
do,
depending on what you got.
I have a bunch of books on eBay that I'm stocking. Like I'm sort of like, waiting for those opportunities. Some I'm waiting for them to put out an offer where like I'm hoping that they'll like, just put out, oh, the price has been reduced or whatever. But also some I'm sort of waiting on just for funds or whatever. And what I'll do is when I want to pull the plug on those books, what I'll do is I'll actually email the seller and say, hey, look, I see you have it listed at this price. Would you consider like this price? And sometimes it's like, a few dollars off, basically, just a slight deduction and reduction in price. But one sec, one more. Thank you for all the super chats, by the way, guys. And we got, why do some dealers want a 90-day GPA prices if the last sale price is lower. Not crazy lower. I but want
Pexel,
higher.
it's easy if they want to get the most out of the book that they can get. And it's a very basic, it's very basic. It's whatever the market will bear. Is it worth it to you? It's like when you, for example, I would buy, if you buy CGC books, let's say, and it's a book like Fathom Number One with, or whatever, I just throw that out, Fathom Number One in a 9.8.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
you just put the highest price first and then you scroll down. So it gives you all the CGC prices. And then as you get farther down, you can see higher grade books that are lower priced than some books that are then lower. For example, I found an 8.5 of a book in,
Yeah, I
in the
remember that. Yeah.
7.0 to 6.5 range
Was more
because the
expensive.
seller was motivated to sell and that's what he wanted for it. So if you just scroll down and look, you can see it depends on what the people want on their sales. But if somebody is playing, not I won't say fast and loose, but are using FMV to their best benefit, understand they're trying to sell and you're trying to buy. It's just the dynamic.
I mean, the thing is, it really depends on the era. I find with Golden Age, you don't have as much selection generally. Like, if you want to buy ASM 300, there's probably like 10 whatever grade you want to buy at any given moment. There's just there's so much selection that you can just say, okay, well, this is the grade that I want, and who's the cheapest of that. You can just really commodify it and get the lowest price. But with Golden Age, you have to be a little bit more.
Because again, it's the scarcity is such that if it comes back to this, that if you don't want to see it again for a long time, understand that's what you have.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's fair, Chunko. Um, I think if the seller has it at FMV, I understand why they listed above FMV. It does two things. One, there are eBay fees that they're incurring, and so they're trying to get FMV out of the book. But the only way to get FMV out of the book is to sell it for above FMV, right? So there's that as well. So I do understand, but I just don't like when I see the doubling and tripling. I
Well, if you do, it's very simple. You just say, well, it
Yeah.
isn't going to happen with this book because if you actually gave into your impulse and you could swing it, every time you looked at that book, it's going to make you feel sick.
Yeah, so there was actually there was actually a book that I got sniped on, and I was like so annoyed. I actually so this is like just a weekend story. There was a book. It was a 9.4 grade, and it was a book. Cute little good girl cover, and I waited till last second to snipe it. And I basically had whatever the price was at that last bid. I was gonna double that and then bid. I lost out because there was there's sometimes a lag between what you see on on the clock and what is the actual clock. So I bid at the last second and literally like I bid like I think it was like 2 seconds before it was going to end, and it said, so I pressed my bid, and it's like the auction has ended. I'm like, what? I just bid, and I would have won it, but I was sad. So sometimes it works against the snipers as well.
Now, if you're talking about, I won't overpay for anything. I understand that. I try not to overpay for anything either. I mean, it's
Mhm.
a very sound foreign policy. And if you work and earn your money like we do, you don't want to spend unnecessarily because I look at it as you don't want to overpay. Now, if you're with silver or bronze, okay, or modern, copper, modern, there's no way that you have to overpay for anything because all of that
There's
stuff
just too much
is
available.
there's a sea of it and it's just you wait for the next tide or if
Mhm.
you will wait for the next bus. But
Yeah, yeah.
if you're talking about golden age books or rare, if you go on to, and of course you do this obviously, go on to Go Collect and see what the census is on the book. If the census is 550, then don't worry about it. Your chances are you're going to get another. But
Yeah.
if the census is 40 and you see how few sales there have been, understand what you're looking at.
Though that has worked against me once with the Catman one, it worked against me. That was the only time.
But by and large,
So, yeah,
Master Comics 13 is another one where
yeah,
that is an issue that the first Bullet
there's going to
Girl.
be one more on the census soon, though, because I'm getting mine graded.
Yeah, and so but very true.
I just want to thank you, Matt. He's just donating just so it's not left there. Okay, this is good advice. Tip on eBay: buy auctions. You can get deals. Never sell via auctions. That's typically true, though I've actually seen some people do quite well with auctions. Um, there is a guy named Blizzard who sells very effectively through auctions because he's built up a name. And I've actually seen his auctions on eBay sell for more than buy it nows on eBay that were available at the same time. I'm like, why are people bidding on this book? It's already past this other one that's available on eBay.
Yeah,
And
just don't.
sometimes auctions can work that way where people get that hype and they get that, I don't know, they get rolled
Now,
into
what happened with Alan with the Catman was there were none. There were none. There were none
it.
anywhere. And so Alan asked me, he says, well, what should I do? What should I do? I said, well, if it's that rare, you have to kind of fish or cut bait if it really means, or be content to wait. So he bought it, and then a couple other guys, three other guys saw this as, hey, now's a good time to sell. So then all of a
They
sudden there
flooded
they
the
are.
market after
It's
that.
happened to me too. I mean,
It's so
how
annoying.
can you know?
Yeah. Okay.
You saw that Patel asked a question
Oh, what
with
did that?
another $5
Oh my
super
goodness.
chat.
Where is that? Okay, one sec. I'm going to get there. Oh, shoot. I'm way behind on the chats here. Okay. If AF-15 had a similar census numbers to Action 1 or Check 27, where do you think it would rank in terms of
Of the three?
I would say it'd be number 1. I know it sounds like probably that's like heresy to say that, but I would say it'd be number 1. Even if you look at the census numbers that it has right now, it was actually the number 1 most expensive sale ever at one point. Okay, when it had that $3.65 million sale.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was number 1 at one point, even with the crazy census that it has. It has like 3,000 or 4,000 copies on the census. That's a huge census, yet it was still able to achieve that big of a sale. Generally, the way people look at these Silver Age books compared to Golden Age is they don't look at the full census. They look at the census of those top tier books, like the above a 9.4, let's say, like the really top echelon of that book in general. So it's like, oh, this book has 598s or something, rather than saying, oh, this book has 50,000 on the census. They look at just that top echelon of books as what is the determining factor of how many there are of that book. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So it's
I don't know if I concur, but I understand your point.
so, but it's Spider-Man is I think Action 1 would be a cooler book, but if it was had the same census count overall as Action 1 or as Tech 27, it definitely would be probably the more valuable of the three, just because more people desire Spider-Man. He's just a bigger character, which is, I know, sad. A very anti-DC thing to say, but there's more Marvel heads than DC heads.
I will say that it is a scenario that is not accurate because, I mean, if it happened, I mean, it's an impossible thing because the survival rate of books
Yeah, no,
from
this is
the golden age,
hypothetical.
and the fact that Spider-Man, it's there really is. I can't make that leap.
His Instagram is Collecto6. Collect and then O and 6.
Collecto 6. Thank you.
One sec. Oh my goodness. Okay. I gotta get back to where we are in the chat here. Yeah. So okay. So a lot of people feel that way, I would say. which is sad because I
That's
actually,
right. It's a personal
yeah.
thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Spider-Man rocks. Lord knows I profited from AF-15 myself. I invested in AF-15. I did. I invested in the
Mhm.
Hulk. I could have invested in Showcase and Flash or JLA, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
voted in AF. I invested in AF-15 and Hulk 1.
yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to like diss DC at all because I prefer DC over Marvel. I'm just realistic in terms of where the market is.
If you're investing, it's one thing.
Mhm.
If you're buying from the heart, the thing is that if you can do both at the same time, I've said this before, it's
Yeah.
optimum. Show us the rest of your books.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's get back into the books. I'm going to do these quickly because we're kind of running low on time. Okay. This next one is actually kind of a cool book. Um, this is Famous Funnies number 50, or just Funnies, I should say, number 58. This is actually the second appearance of Captain Midnight.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing, and that's him on the cover. Which I'm not sure if this is his first cover appearance, but I'm not sure if he appeared on his, where he made his first appearance. But this is maybe, it's his second appearance. So I don't know if it's his second, and first cover. I'm not sure if that's the case, but I just thought it was a cool book. Captain Midnight is one of those Fawcett characters that is it? Yeah, it is Fawcett. Was he in Fawcett as well?
I thought it
Wait,
was Spy Smasher.
I'm thinking Spy Smasher, but Captain Midnight is
Well, he
he's the
was on the
color.
radio. No, he was on the radio, and they had all kinds of Choco Malt mugs and all manner of stuff. They had clubs
Yeah,
and
Del.
rings and
Sorry.
badges and all that stuff.
Yeah, so he's Del. I'm just trying to think of like Captain Midnight was in a bunch of books, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was cool. Okay, this next one is an interesting one. This one has a couple cool things going on for it. This is a gray tone um, uh, cover. Okay, so when they say gray tone, it just means the way that the coloring is done, where it's got kind of like more subdued colors, and usually gray tones. But this is actually a Matt Baker.
I've never seen that book.
Yeah, so this is kind of a cool one because it's a Matt Baker doing gray tones, which is not something that we know him for have doing. It's not something his normal technique, right? So I thought that was really quite cool that he did the cover for this one. This is also the other cool thing about it is it has inside of it a spanking panel where a girl's getting spanked, and that's another little little cute thing that people collect. So this is Diary Secrets number 11 from St. John.
Was the funnies a Dell comic?
Yes, it was. Yes. Sorry, I said the wrong thing when I said it's a Dell. It's a Dell comic. Yeah, okay. And then we got another one of these cookies that I got. Another high grade cookie. This is cookie number 6, and it's like just another cute one. This one I liked a little bit better because there was a girl on it at least, so I thought it was kind of cute. And it's Al Hartley art inside. Okay, and next is another high grade book. This one has a little bit of restoration. This is Crime and Punishment. Another, this is like Charles Biro, I believe. Whether or not it says that. Yeah, Charles Biro cover. And this is from 1948. Crime and Punishment number 6. Just a classic Biro cover where a whole bunch of people are getting shot, a whole bunch of things happening on the cover. Like, whole story on the cover, usually. So, yeah. And going through these a little quicker because and then we got Cowgirl Romances, another title that I'm trying to get the complete run of. This one is like kind of a fun one. I think this is with yeah, Maurice Whitman. Yeah. and just a classic.
And the year would be what, 47, 48, 49?
No, it's a little later than that. It's Fiction House, 1952.
Oh, 52. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Cowgirl Romances was, remember, it's romance, so it's in that early 50s era where romance really was from 1949 to 19, well, all the way up. But my point is it was a later invention where they started really catering specifically to romance. So usually early 50s if it's golden age. So yeah, so this is Cowgirl Romances number 11, Reese Whitman cover. And now this next book is actually a pretty cool book. This is the first appearance of a certain character group in comics. Now they appeared way earlier than that in books and in magazines and so forth, or like in print. But this is the first appearance in comics, and it's Alice in Wonderland. This is from 1940, and it's single series number 24. And this is the very first comic book appearance of Alice in Wonderland. And it's like Alice, it looks like Alice through the looking glass. And yeah. So it's like, the first, White Rabbit and all those characters as well.
For 1940, that's really surreal. Who did the cover?
Good question. Does not say. Does not
I
say.
can't make it. I can't tell for sure who did that.
Yeah, it doesn't say. I wish it would say, but it doesn't.
And the company that did that?
United Features Syndicate. But it's a really cool one. Has a Alice in Wonderland comic strip on the back as well. Now I'm not sure if these would be reprints. A lot of these ones from this is like 1940, right? So a lot of these would be probably reprints from like newspaper strips, right? But
if they're in color, then it would be the Sunday Funnies, because
yeah,
that's the only day of the week that you would get color.
yeah. So kind of a cool one. I'm a big Alice in Wonderland fan. I actually read the book and wasn't that impressed with it, but I do like the way that it's been recreated in movies and so forth, right?
See you, Andreas.
Okay, bye, Andreas. So this is kind of a cool one. And the last one that was in the box, but it's one that I've shown before, I'll show it again, is from the Gentner collection. It doesn't have the sticker yet, but it should. This is from the Gentner collection, and it's my Taffy #1. And this one is L.B. Cole cover, and it actually is the second appearance of Wonder Worm, which is a character that L.B. Cole created, and this is Wonder Worm on the cover as well. He appeared on the cover of Taffy #1 as well, but it was basically he created this character. Most people don't associate L.B. Cole with these kind of funny animal ones, but he did do some funny animal ones. He actually even had a title, I think was like something funny animal. But Taffy's kind of the one that most people recognize. And this one's a special because it is one with, insect that looks kind of like Hitler. And
He is the Hitler bug.
I know. I'm just saying. So the point is, the reason a lot of the time when they would introduce kind of propaganda covers to children, is they would do it in this kind of more cartoonish form, or where they're usually a bug or something, where they're like a rabbit or something, where they're making fun of them, but in a child-friendly way. I don't know if that makes sense, but like if you look at this, even this is like, you got a tank, it's got like a little spikies on the wheels, but it actually has a face to it. It's they do try to make it a little bit softer for the kids, but
Well, it's screwy. The turret, the gun is dripping from the nose. It's got a runny nose,
Yeah.
and in the top right-hand corner, you have eyeballs.
Yes, that's what I was saying. It has a face.
No, no, top right end of the corner of the cover.
Oh, up here. Yeah, 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 up here. Yes, you're right. I'm not even sure what those are or what that has to do with the cover. It's just so weird that there's these weird eyeballs floating around there.
And
And
what's the name of the hero?
I already said Wonder Woman or Wonder Worm. This is the second appearance of Wonder Worm. What were you going to say?
No, you're right.
Yeah, as I said, Wonder Woman was a character created by L.B. Cole. It's the only character he actually created. So it's a kind of a big deal. Like he's kind of a cool character. So this is his second appearance in comics, actually. But yeah, it's yeah. So that's it. That's from Rural Home, 1945. So those are my books. We'll let Stephen show his books now.
At one of the auctions with Yaniv, this came up, and
Oh yeah.
I love the war covers with DC, Superman and Batman and what have you. But there are some that resonate more with me than a lot of them. And here is a beautiful copy of Superman number 18.
Very nice.
And then I
I thought
had
it was
tried.
funny that you picked that up for cheaper than the sale that it just had. And it's
That was
literally,
a hell of a deal, yeah.
yeah,
And
it's
this
nice.
one has better colors too.
Yeah.
I sold a book, or I gave Yaniv a book to sell for me at San Diego to cover the cost of the next book I'm going to show you. But then he said, "Well, I'm going to sell your book. Is there any book that you're looking for?" And there was one other Superman that I was really after. And wouldn't you know that he would find it? And it is this. It's Superman number 23. And this is another Yaniv purchase. And it is just a fantastic book. 6.0 white pager. It's just a beautiful book. And the book that I was trying to recoup rather than spend it on another book, but recoup the cost to buy another book, was the last Batman in the 1 through 10 that I needed, that I wanted to get. I didn't want to get 8, which is the Infinity cover, or 10, which is
I
the
like
one
the
with them
Infinity cover.
I'm just saying for me. And then 10 where they're standing on a drafting board waving at Bob Kane. But it's this one is Batman number 9.
That's
Was
the
the toughest.
iconic one.
This is the toughest one. This was it. It eluded me for all this time until finally I got it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful book. I mean, that's one of the bigger ones just because it's such an iconic cover. It's awesome.
The color strike on this is an inch thick.
It looks really solid, actually. Very nice book.
Another book. I had a copy of this book years ago, and I had a problem because no matter how I looked at the cover, the fact that it had been that it was faded, and it had various problems with it, even though I loved the book, I just couldn't get past the defects of the book, and I sold it for thank you. I sold it and I made some money on it, and then I sort of lamented it because it's such an incredible cover. And I was looking at the Instagram page of Yaniv when he was at a convention, and on his wall picture, I saw the book again, and I called him, and he saved it for me, and I bought it. And it is this Captain America's Weird Tales number 74. And it is a very tough book to find, and it's especially tough book to find that looks nice. And this one really looks nice. It's very, very minimal restoration on it. But the fact is, it is such a tough book, and it presents so beautifully for, tear seals and what is it? Anyway, the staples were bad. They replaced them with era staples because the staples were duff.
Yeah.
So, it's just, and it's, when you have a big book and the staples can't hold it, the staples give up, and they don't spend a lot. they were not making leather-bound volumes. They were making 10-cent funny books. So in any event, but this is an Art Nodell cover that is absolutely an epiphany of a different style from his Golden Age Green Lantern work.
Hmm.
It's just amazing. But there it is, and I got that. And the last book that I got from Yaniv, which was a Yaniv purchase, we talked about it before, but I just wanted to show it again to you today. And it is my Detective Comics number 31 that I got from Yaniv. And this is another instance of buy the book and not
Not
the
the label.
label.
Hmm.
And even at that, the people knew, even with the label, that the color strike and the condition of this book, it had a split spine basically, and then it was reaffixed professionally. And so that's why I got the 1.5, still a blue label, but the reason why I got it got a 1.5. But this is an off-white white from 1939, August or July of 1939, which is way, way early. It is the epitome of the Batman. It is the definitive Batman cover for all of Batman, is this book to me, because it is pre-Robin. It is the clearest, most pure version of what the Batman was, to avenge his parents for their death right in front of him, and as an ominous figure to strike fear into the hearts of criminals. And this is it.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me that is the best, like bar none, the best Batman cover. It's just so awesome. Like, I love how his like his cowl goes right into the trade dress. I think it's just
And if you
phenomenal.
look closely, you will notice the light blue lines that go up to cut through the bottom bar of the trade dress where he is coming out of the cover.
Yeah,
In other
yeah.
words, he is looming completely out of the book coming to you.
Hmm.
And the back cover, which Yaniv told me that so often the back cover is so chewed up you can't even read the ads. This is pristine.
I know. It's one of those like best scenarios where you have a book that has a spine split and it could pass for like a 6 or whatever. It could pass for a fairly high grade, but it's a spine split. So in the case, you can't see that. So it doesn't matter. It just looks beautiful. You know.
So this is my best Batman book. I love
Hmm.
the others as well. I love the Bat one. I love all my Batman books, but this was the one I was most sure I would never be able to own.
Hmm.
And Yaniv made it happen, and he moved heaven and earth to get this for me, and had to give up a bunch of stuff to get it. And I appreciate what he did for me. It
Hmm.
really was something. He flew across the country
To deliver it.
to get
Yeah.
it. No, to
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 get
buy
it
it,
and deliver it. Yeah.
and to get it to me, and it was delivered it to me. And it is an enormous book in the pantheon of our grails. But there it is. Those are my Yaniv books, as Alan and I have been showing you today. Thank you so much.
Very nice. So, yeah. So wow. So thanks for showing that. You humbled all of my books in one book. It's
Well, I love seeing those books. I hadn't seen those, and I
Mhm.
think they're wonderful. I really do like them.
No,
Um, it's the kind of thing that we like to do here. And of course, Yaniv will be coming back to see Alan with more books to sell on a pop up auction again
probably
in a
sometime in
while.
October. Yeah.
So get ready for that. And it's nice to buy from friends, and he's a good guy.
Hmm.
And you're all good guys too. And thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Oh, wait, one last super chat. Oh, wait. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Thank you, Patel. I appreciate it. The super chats go to keeping the lights on, so that's always good. Um,
Did you see what Archivist asked you?
oh, what do
If
you
you
say?
sold all of your Wonder Woman books, could you afford the Tech 31?
Yes, easily. Because if you think about it, Wonder Woman, that's All-Star 8. That's like Wonder Woman 1. There's probably a couple 100,000.
But the thing is that is on a monetary basis, perhaps, but on an availability basis, probably not, because it's so hard to get them.
It's hard to find, but I would have the money to do it. Would I want to do it? I'd rather have the complete Wonder Woman collection.
Oh, you're a Wonder Woman person.
Yeah, but I still would. I'd like to have both. That's the way I am. I'm not going to give up one to get the other. So that's why I'm a terrible collector. The people that collect well are the people like you, Stephen, where you're able to part with certain books to get books, and then you replace them later.
Or I don't. I just say, I have the love of the book. I enjoyed having the book. Would I want to replace it, like Phantom Lady 17 or something like that, which did go away? Mm-hmm. Would I want to replace it? The answer is no, because I had it and I loved it, and I just don't want to go out on that level of monetary stuff to replace it. Its value went towards me being able to get the Tech 31, and it's worth more to me to have the Tech 31 than the Phantom Lady or the other books that I had to give away. Alan has a beautiful, beautiful copy of that. One of the highest graded copies there is.
It's being weird. Okay, so with all that said, thanks everyone for hanging out with us. Thank you, Stephen, for showing some really great.
Thanks,
books.
Alan. You too.
Awesome. Okay, bye everyone.
See you, everybody.